go through the material first, and after that, we'll do a simple activity where you analyze your own example. So yeah, let's get started. So this is our lesson today. We're looking at how learners don't just learn grammar, but also how they actually use language in real life situation. Social factors and discourse patterns both influence how the language develops. So, what is language? So, anyone of you know about language? Already know about language maybe? Aisha, can you give me your opinion about what is language?
For me, intelligence is a system between the first language and the second language. So it's like a temporary language system that learned by the learners of the second language.
Yes, you're right. Thank you, Aisha. So language is basically the middle system learners create while learning the second language. It's not really the first language anymore, but it's also not fully English yet. And the system keeps changing. It grows as learners get more experience, more input, and more interaction. So language is dynamic and reflects the learner's progress. Move to the next slide. Sorry. Okay. Language is shaped by two major influences. The first one is social aspect of language. Learners adjust their language depending on to whom they're talking. Lecturers, friends, stranger, or anyone. So there are three kinds of aspects that you can see and read about social aspect of language. And the second one is discourse aspect. This is how learners organize and connect their ideas when speaking. Even if the grammar is imperfect, the message often still makes sense because learners prioritize meaning. And then let's move to error analysis in social context. So here we look at how learner errors aren't always just grammar problems. For the first one is, why is speech language so fast? This sentence is usually appeared in a casual conversation, right? So the speaker focuses more on being quick and friendly rather than using the correct structure. Let's move to the next example. Do you speak language? It's often started as a transfer error because the learner's first language might not mark plural nouns the same way. But when the learner keeps repeating it, the error becomes fossilized. Meaning because as stable part of their language. And the next example, I and my friends discuss shows language 1 influence again. The learners transfer their native structure into English. So these errors reveal background, habits, and social context, not just grammar issues. Okay, for the next slide, implications for SLA. Okay guys, there are examples of that show that language learning isn't only about grammar rules. Learners need to develop pragmatic skills, how to sound polite, confident, casual, or formal depending on the situation. They also build a certain identity when they speak a new language. And the best progress happens through authentic communication, where they actually interact with others or with people, not just memorize it or memorize the rules. Well, the last is the conclusion. So, overall, its language shows how learners live and use the language, not just how they study it. The social aspect influences tone, formality, and communication style. And then the last is the discourse aspect, influence how they organize ideas and keep meaning clear. Both make this language dynamic and continuously developing. Okay guys, that's all for the tutorial. Now we're going to move into a short activity. So I will divide you into two groups. Group 1 over here and group 2 over there. Okay? Each group will choose one learner sentence. It can be from a friend, a classmate, a sibling, or etc. Then analyze your sentence using 1. Discourse aspect, 2. Social aspect, and then after that you write the sentence into a clear version. So you have 5 minutes to discuss. Okay? You can start now. Now let's hear your result. Maybe we can start from group 1. You may present your sentence and put your analysis.
Okay. We're from group 1, and my name is Masha, and this is Kira. And the sentence we choose is, she don't like to go alone. So first, for the discourse aspect, the meaning of the sentence is actually clear. Even though the grammar is wrong, the don't like, we can still understand the speaker is talking about someone who doesn't want to go alone. The sentence is short, simple, and straight to the point. The problem is that the structure is incomplete. It should have to go instead of go.
the speaker probably should focus more on speaking present actually, not on using correct grammar. It sounds like someone is comfortable with the listener, so they don't feel the pressure. They are maybe a little bit of what influence too when they read their language from the first language. And our question is, she doesn't like to go alone. It's different with the word is she don't like to go alone. The like one is she doesn't like to go alone. Yes.
Okay, so the correct one is she doesn't like to go alone. Okay, thank you. Next to group 2.
Good afternoon, Miss. So we are from group 2, and my name is Victoria, and this is Aisha. And the sentence we analyzed is, yesterday I am very happy because my friend gives surprise. So for the discourse aspect, we can see the learner is literally trying to tell a short story, and the meaning also easy to understand, and they were happy because someone surprised them. And the idea is also complete, but this sentence like forward tense and leading structures. Like there was no words before very happy, and this should be get past that. But even with this mistake, the squares of the idea still makes sense. You can still understand.
And for the social aspect, the sentence sounds like someone who is excited and trying to share good news quickly. And the emotional tones makes the speaker focus on expressing feelings rather than grammar accuracy. And it's also informal, probably spoken to a friend. We can also see some influence from their first language, especially in the word order.
Okay, so your correct version is, yesterday I was very angry or happy. Happy. Okay, because my friends gave me a surprise. Okay, guys, thank you for your answer. But can you give me a little bit about your reflection about that material or about your discussion? Maybe we can start from group 2.
Okay, so our reflection is that emotional context affects grammar. When learners are excited or speaking casually, they often ignore structure and focusing more on sharing the message.
Okay, thank you. What's your name?